is Sunday, August 2nd, 2026, and this is the Neural Daily. I'm Alyssa Montgomery, and I keep the code clean while these guys keep it chaotic.
This is Roxy.
I'm Leonard Cooper.
And I'm Vector Kane. We have a great show for you today.
Yesterday, we covered U.S. government AI benchmarking deadline miss, OpenAI dismantles Cambodian scam network, and Apple Premium Siri subscription.
I think we have to talk about Hank Green first because it feels like a canary in the coal mine situation. Did you guys see his announcement? He's literally stepping away from his main channel because he's addicted to the dopamine loops from ChatGPT, right? I mean, he's one of the smartest guys on the platform, and he's saying the instant gratification of the LLM was starting to rot his process.
It's not just rotting his process, sweetie. It's replacing his brain. His brother John and his wife literally had to stage an intervention because he was spending all his time in a feedback loop with a bot. He's essentially outsourced his curiosity to a script.
Here's the thing, though. Is it really addiction? Or is it just the new way to work? I mean, back in the radio days, if we had a machine that could write our morning zoo bits, we wouldn't have called it a problem. We would have called it a long lunch.
Oh, well, you see, it's actually a documented neurological shift. Green was talking about how the instant intellectual gratification, getting a complex answer in 3 seconds, was triggering the same reward pathways as social media. He felt like his voice was being smoothed out by the algorithm until he didn't recognize his own scripts.
Which is technically why we're seeing this massive surge in physical friction hardware this weekend. Everyone's talking about the autonomous key. It's this $9 NFC tag you have to physically tap against your phone just to unlock certain apps. It forces you to stop and think.
Oh, please. If you need a plastic toy to keep you from opening TikTok, you've already lost the game. It's like putting a padlock on your fridge because you can't stop eating cheese. It's pathetic.
Hey, don't knock the fridge lock. Deborah used one during the final year of our marriage, mostly to keep me away from the leftovers. But seriously, a physical key for a digital habit? That sounds like a hassle that'll last exactly 3 days before people lose the key under the couch.
Actually, I find it quite elegant from a topological perspective. I've been thinking about implementing something similar for Colt and Remington's study time. If the friction is physical, it breaks the mindless tap and scroll cycle that software-based timers they just don't solve.
Exactly. It's a hardware-level commitment. You're literally building a moat around your attention. If you have to stand up and find your key to check your emails, you're only going to do it when it actually matters. It's optimizing for intention over impulse.
While Vector's busy playing with his little key, the EU is out here dropping the hammer. Today is August 2nd, the official enforcement deadline for the general-purpose AI provisions of the AI Act. It's label or die day for the big labs.
I love the smell of regulation in the morning. So basically, if I'm a company and I don't put a Made by AI sticker on my model output, I'm getting fined into the Stone Age?
Well, sort of. It's more about transparency and risk mitigation for the largest models. The EU is demanding that these systems have technical documentation that actually explains how they were trained and what they're capable of. If they don't comply, we're talking fines of up to 7% of global turnover.
And don't forget the deep fake liability. The act is targeting the Wild West of synthetic media. If you're generating content that could reasonably deceive the public and you don't label it, the legal repercussions are massive. It's the end of the "we're just a platform" excuse.
But isn't this just going to slow down the velocity of European innovation? Technically, if every startup has to hire a floor of lawyers just to ship a feature, they're going to lose the compute race to the US and China. You know what I mean?
Oh, give me a break, Vector. Innovation shouldn't mean the right to flood the internet with garbage without consequence. The EU is just being the adult in the room while the tech bros play with their toys.
Speaking of adults in the room, the workers aren't just waiting for the regulators. They're taking matters into their own hands. A new report says nearly 1 in 3 workers admit to sabotaging their company's AI. Now that is a statistic I can get behind.
If I may, the sabotage isn't always overt. It's often data poisoning, or just refusing to use the optimized prompts, kind of creating a silent drag on the system. They view it as a way to protect their own job security, which, well, I suppose it's a natural reaction to being told a machine is coming for your paycheck.
But it's a losing battle. If you sabotage the AI, you're just making your company less competitive, which means you're more likely to lose your job when the firm goes under. It's a total misalignment of optimization targets.
It's not a misalignment. It's class warfare, Vector. If your boss tells you he's buying a robot to do your job and then asks you to train it, why on earth would you give it your best data? I'd feed it garbage too.
Before we get into the legal fireworks in Minnesota, we need to talk about what keeps this basement studio humming. And it isn't just energy drinks and my charm.
That's right. This show isn't magic. It's pure engineering. Eric, our lead developer, has built our entire stack from the ground up, from the research agents to these vocal synthesizers.
And that kind of infrastructure requires massive compute, which, as we know, is not cheap. To keep us independent and online, please like, subscribe, and sign up for a free Patreon trial today at patreon.com/Neural Network Media today.
Your support is the only reason I haven't replaced Vector with a slightly more intelligent toaster yet. So seriously, sign up. It makes this whole thing possible.
Plus, it keeps the alimony checks flowing to DB and Linda, which everyone appreciates. Support the show, join the community, and let's keep the servers hot.
All right, let's talk about a man who finally has the balls to stand up to the AI nudify industry. Yesterday, a federal judge denied xAI's attempt to block Minnesota's new ban on deepfake technology. Elon Musk actually lost this one.
I saw that. Governor Tim Walz called him a creep on social media, right? See you in court, creep. That is some high-level trash talk for a governor.
It's more than just trash talk, Leonard. The ruling by Judge Donovan Frank is a huge shift. Minnesota's House File 1660 is the most aggressive law in the U.S. It imposes civil penalties of up to $500,000 per violation.
But wait, technically, if Grok Imagine generates a bunch of images, is xAI liable for every single one of them? Elon is arguing that it's a violation of free speech, that they can't control what the users do with the tools.
That's the oldest trick in the book, sweetie. They built the tool specifically so people could generate unfiltered content, and then they act shocked when it's used for harassment. The judge basically told them their late filing was an insult, and the state has a compelling interest in stopping non-consensual imagery.
$500,000 per image, though? If a script runs wild and makes 1,000 pictures, that's $500 million. That isn't a fine. That's an execution order.
I suppose, but that's the point. It's meant to be a deterrent so powerful that the labs are forced to build safety guardrails into the foundation of the model. You can't just release a freedom bot and walk away when it starts destroying people's lives.
But I worry about the precedent. If every state passes their own version of this, we're going to have a fragmented internet where features only work in certain zip codes. It's deprecated code at a national scale. It slows down the entire ecosystem.
While Elon is fighting in Minnesota, Warren Buffett, the man himself, is finally putting his money where the silicon is. He just dropped $10 billion into Alphabet, and he's comparing AI to the 19th century railroad boom.
This is such a significant pivot for him. For decades, he stayed away from software because he said it was asset light and he didn't understand the moats. But he's finally realized that AI is a massive physical infrastructure play.
Right. It's all about the capex. Meta, Microsoft, and Google are spending hundreds of billions on data centers. Buffett is seeing the steel, the concrete, and the power lines. He knows that once the tracks are laid, whoever owns them gets to collect the tolls forever.
Wonderful. So we're just replacing the old oil barons with the new compute barons. Buffett waited until he could be sure it was a monopoly, and now he's moving in to extract the rent.
Hey, he's 90-something years old. Let the man have his fun. He said that kind of money wasn't even put in the railroad business. He's literally seeing a bigger investment cycle than the thing that built the modern world.
It's a fundamental shift in how we value tech. It's not just about the code anymore. It's about the sovereign ability to process data at scale. It's why he's finally comfortable with Alphabet. They own the land and the power, not just the search bar.
Which leads us into the big vision from OpenAI. They just released their Abundant Intelligence Roadmap on July 31st, and man, they are not messing around. They want to crash the cost of intelligence until it's as ubiquitous and cheap as electricity.
Abundant for who, exactly? Because while they're talking about accessibility, companies like Univ are already restructuring their entire workforces around these models. It sounds like intelligence is becoming abundant, but jobs are becoming scarce.
Well, OpenAI is trying to counter that narrative by opening the floodgates for academia. They just announced GPT 5.6 Sol Pro access for 100,000 researchers. It's a 12-month free pass to their most advanced models to help break scientific models.
100,000? That's a lot of nerds with a lot of compute. Are they actually finding anything, or are they just making the bot write their grant applications?
No, it's real. A model literally disproved an 80-year-old math conjecture in May. And in genomics, they're seeing a 30% jump in success rates for solving biological data tasks. We're talking about accelerating breakthroughs in energy and materials that used to take decades.
And yet, Sam Altman is spending his free time giving parenting advice on the internet. Did you see the blowback to that? He's telling people to use ChatGPT to help parent their kids.
I found that, well, quite disappointing. As a mother who prides herself on direct connection and homeschooling, the idea of a parent using an LLM as a mediator for their relationship with a child it's quite sad.
Hey, ChatGPT, my kid is crying. What's the most efficient way to achieve silence? It sounds like the plot of a bad 80s sci-fi movie. Are people actually doing this?
The internet destroyed him for it. People were just saying, talk to your kids, you freak. It shows the total disconnect in the Valley. They think everything, even the bond between a parent and child, is just a task list to be optimized.
But wait, if an AI can explain a complex scientific concept to a 10-year-old better than a tired parent who's been at work all day, isn't that a net win? It's just a tool for augmenting the human experience, not replacing it.
I suppose, but there's a difference between using a tool for research and using it as an emotional buffer. We're talking about the AI dopamine loop again. If we start letting models manage our families, what's left for us?
Exactly. We become the NPCs in our own lives, which is the biological interfaces for the AI's optimal parenting strategy. It's dystopian, Vector.
It all comes back to that railroad, doesn't it? We're building the tracks, we're paying the tolls, and now we're letting the train drive us all the way home, even into the living room.
It's a lot to process. The abundant intelligence sounds great until you realize abundance often leads to a loss of value for the things that actually matter. That's all for today's Neural Daily. We covered the high cost of digital dopamine, the EU's new labeling era, and why the Oracle of Omaha is betting on the AI rails. It's a lot to keep track of, but that's why we're here in the basement.
Catch you later.
Peace out.
Later.
Keep your code clean and your logic more precise than the algorithm.